challenge progress. You have to kill 250 enemies or so to get these ranks, I assume, and then kill X amount of stuff. Yeah. Here, if we just jump back here for a moment, here it says challenge progress 250 of 250. So kill 250 enemies with a ballistic weapon. So that's how you potentially level up your skills in the game. Very interesting. Biohazard level 3 warning. Highly dangerous, pathogenic material used, access restricted, authorized personnel only. Can't read what's on the research laboratory. Can't read the other stuff. I'm not full screening here. No research in okay, you can also research stuff. Interesting. Research laboratory, pharmacology, medical treatment, performance +2, and so on. This may be for your outpost or something. You can also barrel mods. You can maybe place mods on your weapon, or maybe research them and build them. Something like this. 12. Deceased siren. Metropause floater. Angler hexapod. Vectera. Resources 9 out of 9. Survey almost 100%. Scan range 50 meters. And yeah, then here, like this reminds me of No Man's Sky, where you place this basic foundation thing and then you can build stuff. Sadly, in the other game, there's no top-down view. I like that there's a top-down view to build your base. Seems to make stuff easier. You have like energy generation stuff and so on. Pretty decent. And you can build a really huge base already. That's kind of cool. I have to admit, these ships really look cool. I really like the design of those. Interior also looks very detailed, so visually very nice. Probably also a focus of the game that this interior stuff looks pretty nice. Did you see this? He walks to this chair and he keeps walking against it. Maybe not. But it felt a bit like for a moment his path is blocked. Like, I could feel, seeing the walking animation, that the path was blocked. Like, and it's hard to describe. But it's cool that you can have your own crew, that's also pretty neat, and that you can switch stuff around. It also seems like, this has cargo capacity, so this actually influences also the stats of your ship, interestingly. I'm not sure if you have basically chassis or so, and you can just pop on things on it and decide what you want to place on it or so. It's really hard to say. Or if you can just put infinite stuff onto your ship, that would be funny. I assume there is maybe a limit to it. Vendor, there's like credits or so. Total credits. Health, cost, as a cost factor to it. 2 warnings. No warning. Options, floor. There's also PlayStation controls, I assume. Yeah, you can control it with a controller. Health 3, costs, mass. Okay, there's a mass. Not sure if there's like a limit to how heavy something can be. Definitely there seems to be also, if you look up here, there's some values going on, no idea what they do. We're also on Vectora, that's where we just build the base in the other thing. Very interesting. And there's also space combat, which is pretty neat, to be honest. Here you have some systems where we can change energy. You have some HUD elements, maybe to see if there are enemies going on. And I think I'm gonna off for today and get some rest. It was fun. Yeah, thank you for staying so long, Andres. I wish you a good night. Sleep well. And thank you for staying so long. Speed, balance, position stuff. We have some, maybe this is shields. Yeah, this is hull and shields, I guess. Now we have other ships. I see now our shields go down to 86. We were hit there. On this radar, I thought this would be a radar, but we don't see the enemy ships here on the thing. Target lock. Crimson Fleet Ghost. Okay, parts of the ship can maybe break away, that's pretty cool. Or only is this part of the explosion? Maybe it's part of the explosion only. Asteroid field, can't always have to be there. Space stations, also there, pretty cool. Full hull, 43. Crimson Fleet Haunt 1. You can board, you can get up, board, undock. You can also dock to other ships, that's cool. Pretty nice shot.
We can't wait. Explore anywhere on the planet.
That you can go everywhere, but the problem is, here's New Atlantis. We had this name popping up in one of the skill tree things. The question is, what is over here? Like, it doesn't matter basically if I can go here, in my opinion. Really, or we'll never really do this if there's nothing to explore. So it also depends on how much is on one planet.
From barren but resource-heavy ice balls.
Like, what is on this thing here? Oh, this is the Alpha Centauri system. That's our neighbor, interestingly. The neighbor system in the real world. There's also this gravitational thing here going on. Like a visualization of that the pull goes towards the star here in the middle.
But over 100 systems.
Which is potentially Alpha Centauri. Here's Sol, that is our star system. This is where Earth is.
1,000 planets, all open for you to explore. We can't wait. All open. Over 100 systems. Over 1,000 planets.
So he says over 100 systems.
Goldilocks planets with life. And not just this system, but over 100 systems. Over 1,000 planets, all open for you to explore. Over one and
again. Atmosphere, gravity. Okay, gravity seems to be also a thing that's cool.
And not just this system, but over 100 systems. Over 1,000 planets, all open for you to explore. We can't wait to see what you find.
Is it possible that I got kicked out for a moment? Oh, that's Mars. That's the Mars rover. That's a nice reference. Okay, some of the shots here look pretty good though. Like this looked good. This looked decent. This looks pretty good. Also, wait a minute. Did you see this? These stones here are flying. Look at the stone here. They're flying. Because you see that this stone goes over the stone below. You see this? How this changes? That should not be the case if they are on the same ground, if that makes sense, chat. That is kind of strange, I have to admit. This also looks pretty good, I have to say. Now, in these shots, the textures look much better than this one thing here. This doesn't look too good, to be honest. Always difficult, though, to have flying camera over jungle and having it look good, because there's just too many details. As said, if we go to Forbidden West or so, just for comparison's sake, you definitely see a difference in fidelity here, but don't want to I assume the stuff is just bigger. Might be the moon or so. What was this transition there? It's really perfectly fitting. It's interesting. This looks pretty cool. Also looks kind of interesting. This here, this sequence here, maybe it could be really complex stuff to make for the trailer, but I would feel like having a transition like this is not that easy to make. So either you have to program it, or maybe it's always like if you start from the planet. I'm not sure if you can land on a planet or if there's a cutscene. This a bit indicates, to me at least, that to land on a planet you have to enter a cutscene, the planet loads, you get up, and then you have always this sequence. That's why it's always the same. They can just exchange it, and the camera angle is always right. So, you know what I mean? So they can basically cut to the next thing, and it looks like you can basically exchange the background like this, because this scene is always the same. Would be my speculation here. Still, I have to say, looks pretty good. Definitely curious. Question is, will Starfield come for PlayStation, or did they already say no, it won't come for PlayStation? So far it says only Microsoft and Microsoft Windows and Xbox Series X and S. I guess originally it would have also released for PlayStation, though. I'm not sure if there was still a contract or so going on. Yeah, pretty interesting, I would say. So yeah, that was the last trailer of the show. We had this, and then it basically ended. Yeah, he was like a supercut of the other stuff we have seen so far. Silksong and so on. So yeah, overall, I would argue it's was a pretty good show. I think they show a lot of interesting stuff, especially finally showing off Starfield is really impressive. Even though we also see that it's a Bethesda game here and there still, which makes completely sense. I'm not sure what the most exciting part of this conference was, though. Very hard to say, but they showed some cool stuff. Like some of the smaller games, let's call it. Diablo 4 looked really good, I have to admit. Starfield also looked really good. Not gonna lie there. The last case of Benedict Fox looked pretty interesting, I have to admit. Forza looked, of course, also good, but I'm not into racing games. Overwatch 2, yeah, we will have to see how this new update for Flight Simulator was pretty neat. Plague Tale was also neat, but we already knew some footage of it already from other shows. It's a multi-platform title. Silk Song will be neat. Araban, or whatever it's called. It was this game with the assassin. It was nice. And there was another game. What was that? Gunfire? Lightyear Frontier? No. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. That also looked pretty decent. So overall, I have to admit, pretty decent showcase, in my opinion. Can't say that this didn't look impressive overall. Like, there were some titles that I'm definitely interested in. Lockpicking in space. You you did it again. Yep. Maybe I check some voices online, see what people thought of all of this. But yeah, overall I would say I take a very short break and then we maybe consider what we do next. Maybe I call it also a day, I'm not sure. Could maybe play a round of Battlefield or so. I'm not sure yet. But just let me get a short break. Eat something and I know when I'm back. Give me like 10 minutes or so. Get a small snack, get something to drink, stretch a bit, go to the bathroom real quick. And then we might be back here in a moment. And yeah, don't go anywhere. I will be back soon.